All right, now we're going to move on to the Big Ten. And Nate, me and you are SEC guys, so for the rest
Yeah,
of these conferences, if you guys are big fans of the rest of these conferences, we're not going to deep dive in them. We do watch college football around, but SEC is our thing. If Scott was here, we could spend a little more time on the Big Ten,
we'll do
but
our best.
everything else, we do have grades for. We may say one or two words for some teams, but
But
we're going to
that's
try to
yeah.
move through them pretty quick.
In honor of Scott, we'll do the best we can for the Big Ten.
Of course, of course. So again, in no order, um, Michigan, I gave them a B. Like I said, one or two words. They haven't beat anybody great yet.
Nope.
Next
Nope.
week we'll see.
This week for sure. If they beat Penn State, they're for their B for me all day
Yeah,
because of schedule. You beat Penn State, you're an A for me. You're exceeding all expectations at the moment.
yeah. Ohio State A. Again, I don't give A pluses, so that's just my thing. I don't do A pluses, so A for
Yeah,
Ohio State. We went in depth with them earlier. Don't really
we
need to
did. We
go in
really
depth
did.
here.
Yeah, A for them all day long. Offense is electric. Defense has got dudes all over the place. Um, coaches, their Ryan Day and his staff are phenomenal. So
Yep,
A all day.
absolutely. Penn State A minus. They begin starting Alar. They'll have an A.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. That kid is going to be amazing when Clifford finally hangs up his cleats and retires.
Correct. Oh yeah. Right.
So, yeah, I would give them the same grade as well. And, hey, if they beat Michigan this week,
Yeah.
you know what I
I
mean?
can move them to an A. That's
Oh,
true.
absolutely.
The next two I'm just going to lump together because I gave them the same grade. It's Maryland and Illinois. Both got C's for me. For Maryland, Tua's little brother's not going to save you, and for me, Illinois is Illinois.
Yeah, Illinois is the definition of mid.
Yep.
And so is Maryland. Maryland's offense is electric. Defense it lacks a lot. They did play a really talented Purdue team and lost at home this week against Purdue. So uh, they're still mid. So mid to me is a C.
Yep. Yep. Rutgers gave them a D. I have nothing to say about them.
They're an F to me. They lost to Nebraska at home on Friday. I don't give a Nebraska doesn't have a coach, and you lost at home. The place was sold out. It seemed like everybody in New Jersey went to that game. You're an F. Plus, Greg Schiano is a terrible coach.
I heard a stat not that long ago for the NFL, and I don't know the college stats on it, but when a coach gets fired mid-season, teams have a barely, it's like by one winning record. So just something to think about. It doesn't necessarily apply to college because it doesn't. College is a whole different animal, but I thought it was kind of interesting.
That is interesting.
Obviously, neither of these teams are ever gonna scrape the NFL.
Out of the
But,
two, Illinois will probably get a 6-win
yeah,
bowl game this year, Pinstripe Bowl or something.
yeah. Michigan State is a big fat F.
F all day. You don't pay a guy $95 million to get the production he's getting out of his team. Big fat F. I don't think I like Michigan State. I think when they're good and they're winning, it's great for the conference. This is really bad.
Yeah.
It's really bad. It's sad actually.
Yeah. Indiana, I gave them a C.
Mid and
Yep.
literally you can put Indiana, Maryland, and Illinois on right now. Wisconsin put them all in the same hat. They're all C's.
Yeah. Purdue, I actually gave them a B. They've hung in some really close games with some teams and won some games one's really thinking. And correct me if I'm wrong, they got their starting quarterback who is pretty good.
He's a 6-year senior.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
They're good. They're sneaky good.
Yeah.
And this is where they turn it around right now.
Yeah.
Normally. So be on the lookout, y'all. If you're listening, Purdue, well, you don't want to play them in the back half of the season. They lost to Syracuse at Syracuse in an overtime game. And Syracuse is undefeated right now.
Yeah.
So, like, their losses, they lost to Penn State, who's undefeated right now. So their two losses came to teams who are legit in the top 25.
Yeah.
So Purdue sitting at their, they're a B, and they're only a B because they lost the two games.
This next one's going to surprise you, Nate. And I know you already have it sitting in front of you. But I gave Nebraska a C- for firing Scott Frost.
Well, that's good. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. And they beat Rutgers on the road. So,
I gave them a C minus
I think
for
they have
one
two.
reason.
I think they have two Big Ten wins now. Actually,
Yeah, I mean,
they're
hey,
better without them.
you
So
got rid of the problem, so I'm going to give you a C minus.
yeah, good for them. Good for y'all.
Um,
I'm gonna give them an F
yeah,
just
I
because.
know.
But if you want to give them, give them a C.
Minnesota, rowing the boat only keeps you in the middle of the pack. They're
Yeah,
a C.
they're weird, man, because they're 4-1, but they look terrible against Purdue.
Yeah,
They're sloppy. Uh, we'll see what they do this week. That's all I can say. I would give them a C, C plus. Let's give them a C plus.
yeah. Um, Wisconsin probably should have given them an F, but I guess I was feeling nice and gave them a D.
Let's give them a D. I'll give them a D. They
Iowa.
fired their coach, which made no sense.
Oh yeah, yeah,
That was probably the most shocking coach firing, just because of his record overall was actually really fantastic.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand that one. I don't know where you can get another coach that's going to be like him. So I give him a D, an F on the firing, but we'll see.
Hmm.
We'll see.
Iowa, I gave a D. Another team I probably could have given an F to.
F on their offense, D on their defense.
Yeah. And then the last team that we've probably all forgotten exists is Northwestern, giving them an F.
F,
But
horrible.
nobody at that school makes Fs, I don't think so.
No, everybody in that school with A's and B's. But did you see the rendering of their new football facility?
Yeah, it looks really
That
nice.
was like, that's really nice. Like, it's
Yeah,
going to be like 30,000 seats.
yeah,
That's
perfect.
really dope. Like, I would love to actually watch a game there.
It
Like,
reminded me of a like a English like an
yeah,
English soccer
like a little
stadium. Like
pitch,
it's
like a
crazy.
small
Yeah, it's
town pitch.
really cool. Perfect for
Yeah,
that school.
I was like, kudos
Perfect.
for y'all. Like, they
Yeah.
still like they ain't firing Pat Fitzgerald. He's the most
No.
tenured coach in the Big Ten. So
Yeah.
like,
So
they just having a bad year. That's all.
yeah, that's all of our Big Ten. I think Nate has the next three Power Five conferences for us.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Big 12 real fast. Just go down the line, based off of just not alphabetical or anything like that. Kansas State. Kansas State has exceeded expectations this year. They were an early preseason team for me. I told people to look out for it, and they're exceeding that. They're 5-1, 3-0 in the conference. They beat Oklahoma at the time when Oklahoma was ranked pretty good. So, but they've continued to win. So Kansas State to me is a B plus. They have a lot of hard games coming up, but B plus right now for me on that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the same B plus.
Yeah,
Exceeding expectations is gonna get you a higher grade.
absolutely, absolutely. Next team up, Oklahoma State. They came in with expectations after last year's success. They beat Baylor in Waco. They're playing really high end football. Mike Gundy is a man, and he's not 40 anymore. And they're putting up 40 points almost a game. So they got an offense to go with a phenomenal defense. They're getting a B plus for me until they beat TCU this weekend or the other teams. They already beat Baylor. I need to see more, right? Because they're sitting at
Yeah.
6 in the top 10, 6 and 7 top 10. In order to go to that next bump, you gotta get somebody. So let's see what they do. B plus for me. They're a really good team though. They're very good, disciplined, fun team to watch.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. Don't have a ton to say,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'll go with you on this one.
Get yourself some Oklahoma State, man. Come on now. Gotta start watching them. TCU next. I would say an A for me because they came out of nowhere. 5-0, beat Oklahoma, didn't just beat them, beat them. Went to Kansas, beat them, tough game on the road. I'm gonna give them an A just because no one had them at 5-0 at this point.
No.
Maybe at best 2-3 or 3-2 because
Yeah.
it's a new head coach, it's a new everything. No, all the same players from last year. So I'm giving them an A. So they're gonna
Yeah.
be a fun team to watch the rest half of the season. Next team up. Did you give a grade
A,
on them?
A or an A minus for them for me. Same.
Okay.
Just
A
blowing
minus.
expectations.
Kansas University. I don't care. They're gonna get an A for me.
100%.
100% at midseason. Now at the end of the year when we give our end of the season grade, it might go down to a C. because they lost their their quarterback.
Yeah.
But hell, kudos to them. Next, Texas. Texas started off great when Ewers got hurt. They're just trying to make it through until he got back. I'm mid-season right now. I'm giving him a C+. They beat the crap out of Oklahoma, but who isn't right now? C+ right now. Mid-season, I expect them to move up to a B+ or an A. He's a world of a difference. The kid is phenomenal. He's everything you think of when it comes to college quarterbacks, and they're just a different team. So I'm giving him a C+ right now for me.
Yeah, we weren't far off. I had him at a B-. So
Okay, that's good. That's good. Baylor, 3-2. Lost some tough games. They're just, to me, they're
underachieving.
They're definitely underachieving. Doesn't mean they're not going to end the season good because they're still a good ball team. So, but for me, C+. Underachieving on that one. They just lost the games they're supposed to win. So Dave Aranda is going to have to figure it out. The rest of the half of the season is not easy, that's for sure. Next up, Texas Tech. Did I get a grade for you? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. C+.
Okay.
C+ for
Texas Tech. They're just fun. They're fun and frisky. Just watch them.
Yeah.
They're above mid, so I'm going to give them a C+. C+.
Yeah.
They're fun to watch.
It's like Crabtree's there all over again.
Yeah, it's like anytime they have a home game, you are going to have to play all 4 quarters.
Yeah.
But if you get them on the road, you're going to beat them. So
yep.
That's why they're sitting at 3-3. That mid, that Kirk Cousin grade. So that's for me on them. I'm gonna give them a C+. All right. Oh. Ignore that. West Virginia, D.
Yeah.
That's it.
Nothing else to say. D.
JT Daniels looks good, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Yep. Iowa State, 3-3 on the season. I didn't really. Do they have any expectations this year?
They're doing better than when Gene Chizik was there. If that makes anyone feel better.
This is true. So 3-3 for them. I guess a D. For sure.
A solid college pass for that one. A D.
D. They'll get by. And then Oklahoma, an F. Oklahoma's an F. Venerable. There was, and I watched them beat this week. Watch them beat Kansas at home by 30. I'll be so pissed off.
Listen, I want nothing but the worst for Brent Venables when he basically said, "No, I'm too good to go to Auburn."
Oh yeah.
No, what you meant to say is you didn't want to play Kirby Smart and Nick Saban every year. We all know the truth.
He's
scared. Now, guess what? You went to Oklahoma. Guess who you have to play at least one of those 2 coaches every single year.
Every single year.
But now you're getting drilled in your little baby conference right now.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to hate.
You know what? Though? It's funny though, because the Big 12 minus Texas and Oklahoma, they're looking really good.
Yeah, they are. I shouldn't hate on them. They're not bad. The
potatoes of that conference is actually not those teams. So.
And they're going to gain some pretty exciting teams.
And then they're bringing on Houston. They're bringing on UCF and BYU. It's going to really be a good conference.
Oh, yeah. No, they will. I shouldn't hate on them like that. Gus Malzahn's over there licking his lips and not having to play defense in the Big 12 next year.
Absolutely. So. Yeah, he did. Yeah. All right. Let's go to the Pac-12. I'm going to go quick on this one. No particular order. I'm just going down the listing. USC, B. Their defense is terrible. Fair. A+ offense. They're still undefeated. I watched them. I've seen every one of their games. I don't know why I'm watching every one of their games. They're just on. I'm watching them. Stanford scored at will on them. Fresno State scored at will on them. Washington State scored as much as they wanted on them. They can't stop anybody, so they're going to come up against a team that will stop them and get and that's why they're a B+ for me right now.
Yeah, I'm going B+ for sure for USC.
Yep. UCLA 6-0, 3-0 in the conference. They're getting an A for me. They just beat Utah at home. It's a big win. They've been blowing people out, except for Southern Alabama. But
Go
they're
Jags.
feeling it. Their fans are feeling it. They got like 10 people now at the games. They're getting it going. They're starting to feel it. So I'm giving them an A for midseason because they're exceeding expectations. No one expected this of them.
Yeah, I have them at an A minus, but still exceeding
Yeah.
expectations.
Next up's Oregon. Oregon got their teeth kicked in by Georgia. Let it pass. I'm gonna give it a pass on that one. It's just week one. Ever since then, they've beaten the poop out of people. So
Have you
they
seen
got.
Bo Nix's numbers?
They're
They're
stupid.
they're video game
They're
numbers.
insane, and I knew that's what he would do when he went there.
Yeah, yeah,
I
he can't do
knew
it.
that was
Yes,
going to do when he went there. It
he
still doesn't bump his draft stock of
no.
like USC or UCLA and something. But that Oregon team is good. B plus because they've come back. In my eyes, they've come back and exceeded those expectations that people wanted them to do. It's not their fault. They just ran to a buzzsaw week one.
Yeah, I'm gonna give them an. I'm actually gonna give them an A minus.
Okay.
Because we all knew what Georgia was. We knew Oregon wasn't competing week one, but now they've just beaten everybody's teeth in. So
Oh,
A
yeah.
minus for me. B plus is fair though. I wouldn't
I'd
argue.
like to see that game again right now. I'd like to see a week
Yeah.
6 Georgia versus a week 6 Oregon. Because once
Yeah.
Oregon figured it out, remember it's Dan Lanning's first year as a head coach. I mean, like that's a
Bo
tough.
Nix first year as a QB there.
Yeah, so I like.
Whole new
I'm
offense. He's been running the same offense for
it's still
actually.
Oregon.
Actually, he hasn't been running the same offense. He's had this is his fourth different coordinator. Fourth.
Wow, it just shows you how talented he is.
Yeah. So
All
I mean,
right,
he's a smart kid.
next up, 4-2 Utah. I'm gonna give Utah because they're at 4-2. They lost a tough one on the road in the SEC, and then they just lost a tough one on the road at UCLA. They did not realize that UCLA was that good. I'm gonna give them a B minus. They're still a good program. Let's see what they do in this back half of the year. I believe they're at expectation. They still have a lot of tough games ahead of them though. So I'm giving them a negative, a minus B, a B minus.
Yeah, I'll go B minus as well. They're in that 20 to 30, maybe 35 range for the entirety of college football. So
Mm-hmm.
that's definitely B minus worthy.
Yeah. Next up's Cal. Definition of mid. They're mid, so they're getting a C. They're 3-2. They play. I've caught one or two of their games. They play good football, but they're a C at best.
Yeah, C for me as well.
All right, then we got Arizona State. As a whole, it's just bad. I'm giving them a D.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Tired coach. That
Fire coach. It just doesn't look good on you. They won last week, but that was it. I mean, they're gonna struggle to get a bowl game this year. Next up's Oregon State, 4-2, 1-2 in the conference. Oregon State's a fun and frisky team. I'm gonna give them, to me, a C plus until they beat somebody in the conference. I'm gonna give them a C plus.
Yeah, same. They got a chance to prove something this weekend, I believe. But yeah, C or C plus for me as well.
Absolutely. Next up's Washington. Washington was one of those teams where it's like they looked good 3 weeks ago and they've lost 2 in the last 2 weeks. So I'm gonna give them, for me, a C plus until they beat somebody in the conference. Like, I'm sorry, you literally had it in your hand and then they let it go. So, but hey, they'll turn it around. They're 4-2 right now, so that's that 20 to 30 range when it comes to football teams in the nation. What do you got on that?
Same exactly. Yeah.
Washington State 4-2, 1-2. These 3 teams can all be the same to me. A C plus as well for that one. All right, we're moving down to Arizona. So Arizona's 1-2 in the conference, 3-3 in the nation. They've played a pretty decent schedule. They're sitting at 3-3. They might get 6 wins this year out of the schedule. So I'm going to give them a C.
For Arizona.
Yeah, because me, I thought they would barely make it. I think their win total this year, Vegas preseason, was like 2.5.
Yeah, no, that's fair. C.
They're above it, yeah. So I'm giving them a C. Good for them. Colorado, they're getting the fattest F. They're the only team in the nation that doesn't have a win. They fired their coach. There's a lot there. Colorado's one of those teams where it's like they have the fan base, they have a beautiful stadium, they have beautiful facilities. Just get the right coach, get the
Yep.
guy in there, they can compete, but they're just not. So they're an F right now.
Yeah, no, worst team in that conference
Worst
for
team
sure.
in the conference, worst team in the nation, almost. I think for sure. And then I'm assuming. I guess you're saying an F for them too.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so we got 1-4 Stanford and 0-4 in the conference. They're an F. Like they have. I don't know how your coach Shaw went from being the best coach in the nation almost to what he's doing now. So I don't get it. I really don't. So Stanford, y'all better figure it out, or if he's gonna get fired.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
He's awful.
That is that. Did we?
I think we skipped the ACC, but we can
ACC will
burn
go
through that quick.
very fast. ACC. Clemson, to me, A. You're getting an A. You've beaten the team.
Yep, A.
Syracuse above expectations. You're getting a B plus right now.
Yep, agree.
Yeah. Florida State. Has played a really tough schedule. 4-2, 2-2 in the conference. I'm gonna give them a B minus.
Yeah.
Yeah, until they beat somebody. I mean, if they beat Clemson, good for them. But they've played teams tough, but they just couldn't get over the top. NC State 5-1, and for 1-1 they lost to Wake. So they lost to Clemson. It's a tough game. I'm gonna give them a B.
Yeah, no, yeah, B for sure.
Wake Forest, same. These are the same teams.
Yeah,
if you look at them,
I think they are.
They're literally the same teams. Just one plays a little bit tougher defense. That's about it. And they both played really tough games against Clemson. So 5-1, 1-1 in the conference. You're getting a B for me.
Yeah, B as well.
Yep. Boston College 1-3 in the conference, 2-4 overall. A C, just their mid.
C minus for me.
C minus. That's a good grade. It's a fair grade. Louisville, they're gonna fire Coach Satterfield. It's coming up. They're getting a D for me. Just the amount of the experience they had with Cunningham is just bad.
Yeah, D minus for me because that's just a poor coaching onslaught over there.
Oh yeah. All right, North Carolina 2-0 in the conference, 5-1, exceeding expectations for me. They're B plus.
Yeah, I have them in A minus, so right there with you.
Oh yeah, they're scoring like crazy. That Drake May kid, he's good. He's a freshman and he's really good. So Georgia Tech 3-3, 2-1 in the conference, won 2 conference games after firing their coach. C plus. I mean they lost to Ole Miss, which was at in a home. They got their coach fired after that. I mean I give them a C plus. I'm nice.
Yeah, they play at the oldest college football stadium in America there in downtown Atlanta, and it's Bobby Dodd is a terrible stadium. It's awful. They need to redo it.
Very bad.
But I'm going to give them the college try of a C.
Okay, that's not bad. Duke 4-2, 1-1. I really don't know anything about Duke. They're 4-2. They've played Elon twice, or Iona or somebody. So I'm going 4-2. Mid for me. I'm gonna give them a C.
Yeah, C as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, we got Pitt. 4-2, 1-1. They looked good last week, but the previous week lost to Georgia Tech. They're just mid to me right now. I'm gonna give them a C.
I gave them a C plus because they did play Tennessee pretty tight, even though it was early on. But so I gave them a C plus here.
There you go. That's not bad. Virginia Tech, they're getting an F.
Yeah, F straight up awful.
Straight up awful. Which sucks because it's like Virginia Tech has the ability to be a top 25 program.
Yep.
Like every year. So Miami, F. They're just bad. Their expectations were way better than this, and just it's bad for them. So I'm giving them an F.
Yeah, they've tanked on their expectations, but I did give them a D because first year head coach once, right? Yeah, his first
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
first
it's
year.
Chris Paul. He's a good coach, but
Yeah. So once he gets it together, I'm telling you
yeah,
that we're going
once
to be
he,
saying the U is back. Everybody's going to be walking around throwing the U up, but not yet, not so fast.
it's an F for me because they were supposed. It's really, I think Tyler Van Dyke is the reason why for
Yeah,
the F
yeah,
on that one.
he's bad.
And then I have not seen a Virginia game all year. They're 2-4, 0-3 in conference, and I'm pretty sure they only played like Virginia. I think they played Georgia Tech in like North Carolina. So I'm giving them a D or an F. An F.
Yeah, same. I
F plus.
might have saw a highlight of them getting scored on.
I'll give them an F plus. I'm a nice person.
Yeah.
That wraps up our midseason grades, and those probably took longer than expected. So we're gonna go through our picks against the spread this week 7. Don't want to keep y'all longer than we want, but it's mid year. It's a big show. We also haven't had a show in 3 weeks,
True.
so if you want to break this up and listen to it like a double take, go ahead and do that. We'll be getting our podcast going too, so it's kind of like a in between. Let y'all know our podcast will be going up soon, so look out for that one as well. So, all right, our picks against the spread. Jake, do you want to go first, sir?
Yeah, sure. I'll just run through them all. Do you want me to throw
Yep.
my lock and my over in as well with them?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Okay. First off, I have Florida over LSU to -2.5. I've said it twice now on the show. I've told Nate all week before Tennessee played LSU. It's the worst LSU team I've seen. I'm not saying Florida's good, but Florida's going to win by at least a field goal. You got to give me that field goal. I think Florida wins here by a field goal,
Yeah.
maybe 6. So -2.5, I'm taking all
So
day.
I would have picked that one too.
Yeah. And next one was Clemson over FSU. I think FSU is not going to be able to hang with Clemson past halftime. So they gave me a -3.5. I think it's a 2-touchdown final, but it will be close going into the half right around that halftime. I think FSU can. They just don't have the athletes there right now.
Clemson normally does that though. Like they'll slow play you to death, and then they'll just come out in the second half and just
It's a Trevor Lawrence special, I believe.
It is.
Struggle the first half, blow the
Make
doors
you
off the
believe.
second half.
Give you that belief. Yep.
Battle of the Fs for Nate here is I got Miami over Virginia Tech at a -7. I do not think Virginia Tech is going to be able to hang with Miami, even though Miami is not a good football team at the moment. So I got Miami over VT at a -7.
Virginia Tech's far worse.
Yeah, I think so too. My lock of the week, I have Arkansas over BYU at a -1.5. I think Arkansas is bad, but I don't think they're awful. I think that they can figure things out. It seems like every time they play outside of the conference, they like to put a show on. So give me Arkansas winning this one.
And that's in Fayetteville, right?
I think so. I don't even care, honestly.
Because I think they went out to BYU. I think they went out to.
I think so.
It's in Fayetteville.
The thing for me is anytime I see a -1.5 and it's a close game, I'm literally looking at who's going to win this game.
Yeah.
So a -1.5, they're going to cover the spread here. I think they win by a touchdown.
Such a weird mid-season game too.
Yeah. And then my weird over of the week that most people were like, why would you take that over? Penn State versus Michigan. Penn State's got a great defense. Michigan, an okay defense. Penn State can score points in a hurry. Michigan has just been scoring points in a hurry. So 52.5 for me. I'm hitting that over.
I can see that, yeah.
Most every game this week, I know we're the Back Porch Overs Club, but there's a lot of good unders this week.
There is.
We don't pick unders here unless it's for funsies. Yeah. But I had to find one, and that was the one I was like, maybe it'll score some.
It's a good over. It's in Happy Valley. It's a whiteout. Michigan's going to wear all maize, so it's really going to look like white in a highlighter.
Yep.
Why not light up the scoreboard? So I can see these games like this are weird too because like it'll be, the scoring won't come maybe from offense. It'll probably come like a block punt or something.
That's what I'm thinking. Special teams and defense.
So I it's gonna be a fun one for sure.
Yeah.
This weekend. All right. So my picks. Is I got back to the Penn State Michigan game. Penn State is a 7-point underdog. I don't see that happening. I can see Michigan winning, but by 3. It's going to be a close game. So I got Penn State +7 in this one. I just don't see Michigan going into that atmosphere and just dominating. I just don't. Um, the next one, Illinois, Minnesota. Illinois is a 6.5 underdog. Minnesota, I just don't see them. I just don't see Minnesota beating someone like that. Illinois is actually Coach Belima is literally back to his old ways of Big Ten football. Big boys running the football, keeping that score down, keeping it tight, time of possession. I don't think Minnesota is going to have the chance to have the ball that much in
You're
this.
right. You're
So
right.
I'm taking Illinois to keep it plus 6.5. They might win, maybe cool, but if anything, if they lose, it's going to be by 3, just like last week. Or they won last week by 3. Next one, Oklahoma State, TCU. TCU is the underdog or the overdog. Wait, who's in that one?
TCU's minus 3.5, so they're
Yeah,
the favorite.
exactly. Oklahoma State going on the road, 3.5. Come on. I got that one. I think they're going to win in this game. They have way too much power over TCU, and they're going to at least win by 6. Not so I got them blowing past 3.5 plus, so and winning the game. So that one was too easy for me. They're just a seasoned vet team. Next one, my lock of the week, Ole Miss. Sorry, Jake, against Auburn, minus 15. It's in Von
That's fair.
Hemingway. If they're wearing their baby blues, Lane Kiffin's gonna look good doing it. They're gonna score a lot of points. That offense is just like Tennessee's. They find ways to manipulate defenses and find ways to score. So I could see them winning. And Auburn can't score at all.
No, but who's the best? Who's the best defense Ole Miss has played this year? Do you know? I mean, I legit don't know. That's why I'm asking. I can't remember who all they played. They played Arkansas,
They played Arkansas
so that might
when
be
they
the
were
best.
good. When Arkansas was
yeah,
good. They
for
played
some,
Kentucky. That was the best defense they played.
yeah.
Kentucky.
So I mean, Auburn's defense is very good. Their corners are excellent. They've shown that all year.
Yeah.
But they're not great at stopping the run. But Ole Miss isn't great at running the ball. That was the only reason I didn't want to take that minus 15.
They
I don't
run
think
enough. They run enough so they can throw the long ball.
Yeah, no, they do.
Yeah.
But Auburn's they have this little safety. It's been lights out on in cover too.
Okay.
Sure, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I really do think Ole Miss will cover the minus 15.
That game at night, or is it a day game?
12 o'clock, noon.
Oh, 11,
it'll be 11 o'clock Ole Miss time.
Little Jefferson Pilot nooner.
Yeah, little Jefferson Pilot special. So, I mean, honestly, Ole Miss will probably cover, but it's going to be close for 3/4, I think.
Okay, yeah, that's not bad.
So, I mean, it's
still take it as a lock. I still take it as a lock.
No. I don't. I'm not telling you not to take it. I'm just saying that Auburn's defense should not be.
People think.
Auburn's defense should just transfer over to Tennessee because they deserve that kind of defense, bro. Like, I'm just saying, they deserve it. We don't.
Yeah, I'll take it. And then my over is Mississippi State, Kentucky, over 46. Will Levis, if he plays, this is lights out. If he doesn't play, Mississippi State alone can still score 40 points on their own.
It'd be like a 7-hour game, right, with all the passing?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I look for Kentucky to give a great effort out of losing last week, but they gotta play Mississippi State at home, then they gotta play Ole Miss, then they gotta play Tennessee. Like, it's gonna get tough for them. So I'm looking them to prove something here. Mississippi State's going to score. We already know that they're going to score. So that 46, I was like, easily Mississippi State 30-something points. If Kentucky could give me 15, boom, at 45. Yeah. Give me a field goal in between somewhere, but I'm almost at 50. So that's where my over is right there on that one. Guys, we made it. It was a long show. We apologize of the length of this show. Normally we like to keep about 40 minutes, but we literally been playing catch up for being out for 3 weeks. Thank you for being patient with us. We should have Scott back soon, hopefully sooner than normal. But thank you for staying with us. This will be a great listen if you want to cut it into 2 pieces. Be a great listen for you on that one. So, but always remember to subscribe, follow, like all the things. We appreciate you guys. And Jake, you want to say something?
Deion Sanders, come on down to Auburn.
Come down to Auburn. Dion to Auburn. All right, y'all. Have a good one.